Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I had my alcohol hearing this morning. Yay, and pretty much, like, he asked me absolutely nothing. Like, Jen told me what he asked her, and he asked her all these questions about, like, who was drinking what and who was there, and, like, questions about me, and, like, the time, and, like, how we got there and stuff like that. He asked me absolutely nothing. He asked me, like, tell me the story of, like, what happened, like, starting out, like, with going, like, being in my room and ending, like, when they came in. And then he asked me how much I had to drink. And that was it. That was all he asked me. And, like, I feel like it's almost, like, suspicious how little he asked me, because he asked Jen, like, a lot of questions. And, like, I was, like, mentally preparing myself for, like, all these answers. He didn't even ask me anything. And I don't know. I'm kind of stressing out about the fact that he didn't ask me anything, even though I feel like I should take that as a good thing. But I don't know. Okay, so, you know about Friday night and Saturday, I did nothing. I barely left my room, barely left the building. Went to bed at, like, 1 o'clock. Got up on Saturday at, like, 10, didn't get dressed because I wore the clothes I slept in. I went to the dining hall and I had breakfast alone again, yay. And then I was heading back to her room, and this kid Tyler came up behind me, and Tyler is in Jen's English class, and I met him last Thursday night because they were hanging out together. And so I was talking to Tyler, and he was like, do you want to go for a walk? And I was like, okay, but let me drop off my bagel, because I was carrying a bagel because it was going to be my breakfast Monday morning. So we went to my room, we dropped off my bagel, and we walked around campus, like, 1.5 times, and then we sat down on these chairs, like, this, like, table, like, chairs outside, and we sat there for, like, 6 hours and talked. Like, I spent the entire day with this kid, and, like, Katie came back, and she came over and visited us for a little while, but then she had to go back and work. And then it looked, at like 4 o'clock, it looked like it was going to rain, so we went back up to my room, and we were watching baseball on TV for a little bit, but then we lost the satellite, and so then we were watching Netflix, and then, like, 5:30, he went and got Etienne, and Etienne's girlfriend, Emily, and we went and had dinner, and then we went back to Tyler's room, and we were watching the football game, and, like, we spent, like, the entire day together. And I feel like that's weird to, like, say that now, but it didn't feel like it was a really long time. And, like, it didn't feel weird when it was happening at all. So, and then Katie and I watched Gossip Girl because I hadn't watched Gossip Girl in so long. I really miss Gossip Girl. This whole, like, drama has really cut into my Gossip Girl time. So then Monday classes were fine. Everything was fine. Until, like, 5:30, Irshad called me and was like, well, everyone else is over here and we're discussing what we're going to say. He's like, is Jen here? I was like, no, Jen's going out to dinner because it was Jen's birthday. Jen's an adult, yay! So, I was like, do you want me to come over there and, like, talk to you guys? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm bringing Katie. Like, I'm not going into that alone. I need emotional support. So I brought Katie, and we brought Freezy Pops, and we went over there, and it was me, and Katie, and Irshad, and Dennis, and Tori, and Christian, who's not involved, and was just there, and Slovakian Brian, who somehow wasn't involved, but was just there at the meeting, and Tori's roommate Kevin was there for a little bit, but... And what I decided is that I don't really like all those guys. Like, I like Christian, and I like Irshad, but Irshad was really annoying me, but I really don't like all those other guys when they're sober. I really don't. So, but they just all, I felt like they were just, like, yelling at me and, like, telling me what to say, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I know how to not get in trouble, okay? Like, don't treat me like I'm, like, a 2-year-old. I know, like, what not to say, and I know what to say, and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they were all just really concerned about themselves, and I was like, I don't want anyone to get in trouble, so, Like, I feel like I'm looking out for everyone, and you guys are only really looking out for yourselves. But whatever. So we left there, and we went to dinner, and spaghetti and meatballs was for dinner. Oh, no, not spaghetti and meatballs, just spaghetti, and chicken parm was for dinner. So I had that, and we came back, and we finished Gossip Girl. The season finale of Gossip Girl. They called us during the season finale of Gossip Girl and made us stop and go over there. And then that was fine. And then Tuesday... Oh, also on Monday, I got the email where I had to schedule my hearing. So I emailed him back, and I was like, I'm free Tuesday and Thursday mornings before noon. And he emailed me back, like, Tuesday, and was like, okay, your meeting is at 11:30 on Thursday. So I was, like, hanging over my head. So Jen slept over Monday night, and then she had her meeting Tuesday morning, and she was freaking out, which, like, made me kind of more calm. But I was definitely freaking out, too. So she went to her meeting, and she was like, really, you have nothing to be worried about. Like, he just asked you, like, basic questions, and, like, pretty much their minds were already made up. Like, it didn't really matter what we said, because their minds were already made up as far as, like, punishment was concerned. So then, Wednesday, nothing much. Went to class, that was all fine. Jen and I went for a run. And then Katie's in this fashion show. She had to create an alter ego and, like, an outfit and everything. And then she was in this fashion show, so we went to see her in that. And then we went to get dinner. And then we went to this talk about this panel discussion about people who had read the Sonia Sotomayor book, because she's coming to visit in 2 weeks. And so this was, like, a preliminary thing. And Abby and Katie got extra credit for going, so we went with them. But it was so boring. So we left, like, after, like, half an hour. And we went to the girls' soccer game because Casey was there with some of the lacrosse boys, so we went to hang out with them. And then we left there, and on the way back, Jen was like, we should see if Tyler's in his room. So we stopped by Tyler's room, and we were talking to him. It was me, Jen, Abby, and Tyler. And then, next thing you know, the fire alarm is going off. So we all had to leave the building, and it was so cold outside, and the fire trucks came and everything. And they said it was, someone was blow-drying their hair, and the hair dryer started smoking, and it set off the fire alarm. So that kind of sucked. So we went back to Tyler's room, and we were like, we had the weirdest topics of conversation. Like, I can't even describe to you how weird they were. Freckled penises, that's all I have. That's like... So then... At like 12:30, Tyler kicked us out of his room because they were going to bed. We came back, and I went to bed, and I can swear to God that at 2:30 in the morning, like, 6 fire trucks drove by our school, because, like, we must be near, like, a hospital or a fire station or something, or a police station, because there are sirens driving up and down the road all the time. And, like, 2:30 in the morning, they were so loud, like, I sat up in bed, and I was like, is Heinz burning down? Like, why isn't the fire alarm going off? They were so loud. So then I got up at 9:30 this morning, and I went and I showered, and I came back, and I got dressed. And I was told Abby, I was like, Abby, I want to hang out with someone like before, and I don't want to just, like, sit in my room and, like, think about how I'm gonna die. So I texted Abby, and I was like, Abby, are you in your room? No response. So I went on Pinterest, and I was pinning, and stuff like that. And then it got to be, like, 11:20, so I headed down, I stopped at Abby's room, and I knocked her door, like, 3 times. She opened up, and she was like, I was taking a nap. And I was like, I'm going to my hearing. And she was like, she hugged me, and she was like, you're gonna be fine. So then I walked over to the hearing, and he was like, oh, you're a little late, aren't you? And I was like, isn't it at 11:30? He was like, no, it was at 11. And I was like, oh, well, I thought it was 11:30. And he was like, well, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. So we went in, and I told him, like, what happened, and he asked me how much I drank, and I said I had, like, 1 beer. And then he just pretty much talked about our punishment, that we're going to have to take these 2 online courses about alcohol education and marijuana education. I don't know, I have to take marijuana education. And then I have to go to a group therapy session. That'll be fun, in November. And that's it. He made it sound like it was this, like, big favor he was doing us by, like, not putting us on probation and, like, all sorts of other stuff. But I mean, really, we didn't do anything. And, like, he even told me, he was like, it sounds like you guys were just in a wrong place, wrong time situation, which we were. And he was like, yeah, I could totally tell that you weren't drunk or anything, and, like, it was all the boys. And I was like, yeah, so, like, why are you acting like I'm the bad person in this situation? But whatever. So then I came up to my room and I checked my email, and he did email me saying that the meeting was at 11:30. So I was not late. I was on time. You fucked up. So then Katie came up and we went to lunch and had lunch, and that was fine. Panini maker is fixed, thank God. Then I came back to my room. I wrote my blog post for my Arcadia blog. Then I went to class, and class was fairly boring because it's always fairly boring. And then I came back, and I probably should be doing homework, but I was like, I need to blog, I need to vent, I need to blog, I need to vlog. So, I mean, it sucks, but I just want the whole thing to be over, and I'm probably going to be nervous the next few times we drink, but, like, it's not going to stop me. It's not going to change anything that's going to happen. It's kind of an annoyance. Alright, so that's pretty much all I got for you. I had a boring week this week. I've been stress eating all sorts of stuff. Probably gained like 10 pounds. I will see you next Thursday. Bye.